Every single merchant knows that running a Shopify store can be both a time-consuming and challenging at the same time. And this is true especially as your business and your store grows. But fortunately, there has been some major advances in AI technology lately that have made it possible to automate a lot of these repetitive tasks that you don't really want to do anyway. And here in this video, I'm going to explore some of these things that Shopify store owners can do with AI to save time, save money, and scale their business by using AI, specifically in this case, ChatGPT. And here we'll look into cases from customer support to marketing, etc. I myself, Samuel Larsen, founder of CROgurus.com, where we help a couple dozen 6, 7, and 8-figure store owners at any given time to help squeeze more conversions, average order value, and purchase frequency from their stores. With that said, I'm going to keep this video very practical. So we're going to have a lot of examples, and you can then take some of this stuff and apply it even today. So let's get started. So let's look into our first use case. For this one, I have gone to Amazon, and I'm just looking for a customer review that is not so positive. So let's say we might be able to reply to this review here. So one of these more in-depth, longer reviews. So here we have a 3-star review, and I'm going to use everyone's favorite tool here, ChatGPT, to act as a customer support agent. So I'll be giving the ChatGPT program a prompt here. You are a customer support agent replying to this e-commerce review. The thing with ChatGPT, it's very much garbage in, garbage out. You need to give them a accurate prompt here, and a good way to do this is saying you are something. Otherwise, it may not know how they are acting. So there, once you have this, you can just submit it, and over time it will write you a reply. So this is really cool because you can do this without adding any significant overhead costs, as the program is free, and this can allow you to at least brainstorm very effectively on how you would write this one. You will have your first iteration here. This came off pretty long. Maybe this one could be a little bit too long for you. So you can say condense the same, condense, and don't use more than 150 words. And then it will rewrite it. So there you have a new one. And this one can be really good for this kind of stuff because it can reduce the need for having so many customer support agents manually writing this out. It can also save you time and of course also salaries in training. When you do it like this, you perhaps only need to work on the prompts and some basic training on how to use the AI to boost a person's workload or work more to reduce the workload. And this way, you can always also have a consistent brand voice. If you tell it exactly how you'd want it to sound, you can pick that up and reduce those errors of, say, Jane sounds different than Joe, who sounds different from Stephen, for example. This is really good from that perspective. Also, you have the database that it will be able to answer common customer questions and provide product recommendations even, and offering some personalized shopping experience at times when you otherwise wouldn't be able to know all the intricacies of an industry or a specific product. Then you can always add a new chat. So here I'm starting a new chat here, and from the customer support perspective, tell me what are the main differences between mountain bikes and road bikes, for example. Here you can have prompts like this. Of course, they could be more specific than later on, but say you do sell bikes to an older audience, for example, they're probably not going to go ChatGPT and pick out these differences themselves. So this can be very helpful. You can also use this in different models, for example, as long as it is not something relatively new, as ChatGPT currently only goes until the year 2021. So there it doesn't have context of the very, very latest stuff, which we will circle into. And then the second recommended use case is to use it as a data analyst. So you can use ChatGPT, look at, say, customer data, and provide insights on shopping patterns, behaviors. And this can help you optimize your marketing strategy and make more data-driven decisions. So I'm going to write a prompt here and then show the results how that would look like. So here I have wrote a prompt here. You're a data analyst explaining this data between sessions and conversion rate. Then I've given the sessions starting from January, ending with December, and then the conversion rate starting from January, ending with December. What patterns do you see? And here I have no idea if this is gonna actually work because I haven't separated this, but we can try and see what we get here. Here we are with the final answer. So it has picked 4 different things here. So you have fluctuating sessions. It will be able to pick the peak here and then gradual decline on these ones. Then it says conversion rate variations. So from November dropping to 1.6 in December. Probably explained partly by Black Friday promos here, but of course it cannot know that. And then you have some inverse relationships. This is the most interesting part here. So the higher the sessions, the lower the conversion rate. And this is something that could be otherwise difficult to pick up from the data. Here also seasonality. So you can pick this kind of stuff from here. And perhaps in this kind of case you could upload multiple years to ask about the seasonality, to get a little bit more context on that and to make sure that there's no anomaly years that are essentially dictating the seasonality. So that's on this one. And you can of course tell me more about the inverse relationship. A lot of the value comes from this kind of going deeper into it and asking follow-up questions. We will have an answer here about this. So here it did give a pretty generic answer. So talking about targeted traffic, seasonal trends, user experience and conversion optimization. You can ask more in-depth questions. So how would a statistician explain it? Most likely it's going to be fine with a few typo, but do it like this. And I'm not going to read it all. You can pause the video if you would like to read it. It helps you understand the inverse relationship, different types of correlations, which can be really good in understanding, for example, the correlation effects, even if you don't have a particular statistical background. So it helps you get a grasp of your data without being a statistician. Okay, next up, we're going to open yet another new chat and going over the idea number 3. So this is related to product descriptions. You're going to have a lot of these kinds of things where you have some repetitive tasks, such as say inventory management, order tracking, shipping notifications, these kinds of things. And you can use ChatGPT to help with a lot of this stuff, especially if you have it connected to AI or some other program that uses ChatGPT. Now, Google is actually not penalizing AI-generated content, only keyword stuffing. So you can use ChatGPT to rewrite product descriptions, for example. So we're going to try that one. So many times manufacturers will have a little bit of a technical summary of their product, and we could use ChatGPT here to rewrite this as an e-commerce product description, write in a conversational tone and avoid talking about the technicalities, instead focusing on the benefits of those technicalities. So you can write something like this. Below is the description of the product, like this. It can pick this up and then rewrite it. Often you can ask it to be less salesy, so rewrite it, be less salesy. So for example, if you have introducing our incredible keyboard with low profile keys, revolutionize your typing experience, that might be a little bit too much. So you can just ask to do it like this, and then you can of course ask to be shorter as well. So oftentimes it comes really long. This does require a little bit of a human touch afterwards, but it's gonna still help a lot. So here it did do something here, at least remove the exclamation mark. Now one thing that you could do here is even add your competitor's product and tell the main differences and rewrite the description, or have a related product and just show the differences to ChatGPT and ask to rewrite it in that same type of tone, and then you can get quite far from that. Okay, next up, let's look at the fourth use case. A little word of warning for this is that ChatGPT currently only goes up to 2021. I think it's gonna be more up to date soon as well, but you can still use ChatGPT to stay up to date in some of the industry trends and consumer preferences. And this can give you good insights, because otherwise going through so much data could be really time. So here, tell me about the evolution of Shopify updates that would be relevant to e-commerce merchants. So it does tell you that the knowledge cuts off. You can still get a lot from it. So it's 1.5 years late right now. Here's some of the things. Maybe you haven't looked at it in a couple of years. And from here you might spot things that you are not familiar with, say Shopify Plus, for example, and then you can understand those parts better. So it can be valuable from that perspective. But since this is time limited, I'm gonna jump into the last suggestion. So this is one where you can just use ChatGPT to free up time and resources to focus on more strategic initiatives. So say you want to focus on product development, marketing, customer acquisitions, because this allows you to achieve your business goal. I'm going to show you an example here, what I mean with this. So here's an example of a prompt. It's very generic here. So you would want to add something like, we are an online pet store, have been in business since 2021, for example, and etc., etc. So the more information you give it, the better it is going to be able to write that description. Here's some examples that you can use. And then you don't have to spend your time so much in this kind of thinking, because it is going to be done for you. And for example, in this kind of case, maybe there are responsibilities that you otherwise wouldn't pick. So that's one example. Here's an example as well. So when it comes to keyboards, what are some of the things people typically complain about in online reviews? Maybe we can add mechanical keyboards as well. So these kinds of things can help you understand where there might be gaps and what are some of the things that you could do to position your product to fill those gaps. So these kinds of things help. And another example could be writing Facebook ads, writing different posts for your social media, and the list goes on and on and on. There's almost infinite amount of things that can come from there. Here ChatGPT is already providing us pretty good ideas here. Keycap quality, switches, build quality. So these might actually be something that you take as the 3 main points for your own mechanical keyboard. You have this massive related pain points, or perhaps price could be one. So a lot of options available for using this particular program. So there you have it, ChatGPT, and a few use cases that you can use today to optimize your e-commerce store and streamline your operations, save money, scale your business, however you'd like. Now, if you haven't already, you should like the video, definitely. It's good stuff, right? And subscribe to the channel, because we're going to put out helpful video content like this one to help you succeed as an e-commerce merchant. If you have already got a little bit of traction with your store and you are getting to that point where your traffic and paid acquisition is going to be limited by your conversion rate, average order value, lifetime value of your store, then let's take a look. Me and my team look at dozens of e-commerce stores every year, so we will be able to spot some things that you have missed. If you are interested in that, you can go to growgurus.com to learn more about what we do and how we might be able to help you scale your business. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.